Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this week's episode of Things I Wish I Knew About. And you probably know this person, maybe not by look. I don't know if you're the face so much. I guess you are a little bit behind the scenes.
A pastel, I feel like.
Zip.
Yeah.
You may know the face, but you definitely know the brand because I've talked about it a bunch of times. We have Lauren from Low & Co. today on Things I Wish I Knew About, building a legacy brand, which is so exciting. Hi, Lauren.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much
I'm
for being
so
here.
excited to be here because if you know Low & Co. or me, I
Mhm.
love to talk
Same.
and share, and it just seems like the perfect thing to do. So
You actually have or had or a little hiatus on your own podcast.
Yes.
That I was a guest on.
Yes, which was amazing and such a fun little chapter
It was.
of life in business land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's circle back to
Yes.
it. Lauren are you Lauren? Is your whole name Lauren Francis-Smithson?
Yeah. So if you really want to know my whole name,
I sure do.
Lauren Naomi Majoran Francis-Smithson. High five, baby.
Woo!
So I am married to an amazing human, and I never took my husband's last name properly
Sure.
until we had kids, and then it was just very confusing. My maiden name is Francis, and I could never not be a Francis.
Is that why it's Francis and Meyer?
Oh, no, it's
That's the
not.
street. Isn't that
It's
weird?
a street. That is a very confusing thing for many people.
Yeah.
No, my dad's last name is Francis.
Oh my God. So Francis and Meyer, the candle company that I talk about all the time,
My
Lauren's
cousin, but from the other side of the family.
Oh my God, so
Which
crazy.
is wild. But Francis means a lot to me. My dad's family, Lebanese immigrants, very hardworking, all had their own businesses. When they came to Canada, they took their dad's first name as their last name. So it was Frank Francis, and Francis was just the name. And I just I can't leave Francis.
I get it.
So I got a long one.
I get it. I'm agreeing forever.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
Exactly. Yeah, so there we go.
Listen, let's talk about all of these things, all of the names
Yeah.
and all of the Low & Co.
Yeah.
So Lauren has a business,
Mhm.
many, I think, maybe, but you have multiple businesses.
I do. Serial entrepreneur.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that,
Yeah.
but we're going to mainly talk about Low & Co, I think.
Yeah, I love it.
Today, which is how do you describe it?
I say that we are a storytelling jewelry brand
Mhm.
here in order to help people or organizations tell story through jewelry.
Okay.
And do it in a way that has a little bit of magic, a little bit of mystic side involved,
Yep.
but a lot of intentionality.
What a great little brand
Yeah.
right there. We love a crystal moment.
Yes.
We love a jewel moment.
Yeah,
I do, at
exactly.
least.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about, you've been a serial entrepreneur. Where did that kind of start? Because it didn't start with jewelry, right?
Oh.
Did you go to school for business or anything like that?
I did not. So I'll tell
Lord.
you like the Coles notes. Growing up in very entrepreneurial family.
Okay.
My dad's family, all entrepreneurs. My mom's not so much, but my dad said to my brother and I, you find something you love to do that you're passionate about, that you're really good at, you get people to pay you for it.
Oh,
He
amazing.
was Bell Canada corporate his whole life, afraid to jump into the entrepreneurial world, but he instilled in my brother and I, like, go do things for yourself.
He desperately wanted
Yeah.
that for you guys. Did
So-
he have something that he wanted to do that he did?
He did. He had and still does have a renovating company
Oh.
called Renovation Supreme that still runs.
Shout
I
out.
know. Shout out to people in Coburg. He was too afraid to take that into like being his full time. And he had the security. It was the 80s. It was just,
Yeah.
you needed to have that, like, you're raising a family piece, or at least he did. But my brother and I became these very adventurous entrepreneurs. And Matt is on a much larger scale, very corporate, very Bay Street. And I was very much into the connectivity, but like creating spaces and businesses to share what I was really good at, but also have those businesses be homes for others to have income and revenue as well.
Yeah.
First business, 16, I started a swim school.
16 is was crazy.
I loved being in the water. I was very, very shy as a kid. So shy, like debilitating, where my parents, I think, probably were like, what are we going to do with her? But swimming was my thing. And in grade 8, I started teaching swimming and connecting to some of the special needs kids in the water. and knew that like I had this ability to work with them. So go through high school working at the town, working for other little swim schools. And then I started my own. So I'd have my backpack with my flutter boards. I'd go to the neighborhood pools,
Oh, so smart.
my neighbors, and be like, hey, listen, I'm Lauren. I can teach you swimming. And it grew and grew. And I was hiring my friends because we had a waiting list. This is not emails, Instagram. This is like
Yeah.
dropping a
90s.
flyer off and getting a check. Like,
Yeah.
so when I was 18, incorporated, it's called Superfin Aquatics, and it still runs today. So it went from summer backyard lessons to then like I put myself through university
On that,
doing it.
yeah.
I went to university thinking I was going to be a chiropractor or a physiotherapist. Health science at Western is what I did, honors degree. So no proper business background.
Sure.
Swimming always ran. And then I got out of university and I was like, oh, so now I'm going to get like a job.
Right.
And hated the thought of that.
Right. But
So
you had this practical business knowledge, right?
Found a way. I say, like, I literally jumped into the deep end.
Yeah.
And I remember finding an indoor pool in East Beaver Creek, which is in Richmond Hill, because I would call the town, hey, will you rent me the pool? No, we use it for our swimming lessons. I found a private pool. We rented it for 15 years. So we had a full year swim school running. I had another branch of the business that did safety training. So like your first aid, CPR, our contracts were with like York Region Board of Ed,
Oh my
Canadian
God.
Tires. So all of these amazing things.
Yeah.
Want to know the crazy part?
Yeah.
I didn't think that was like enough. I still would go out and try to get jobs at other businesses to think like, oh, I need to put my degree to use. I need to get on the GO train. I need to do all the things that my friends are.
Right.
So the decade of my 20s was like, I had this amazing business running, but I was still like running away from it. I was like, oh, I got a job at Lululemon. I loved it, but like I lasted 8 months.
Right.
A sales company where I got to be on the shopping network, loved it, lasted for 8 months. Always went back to swimming. So swimming ran and it was awesome, like a great staff and all of the amazing things that come along with like working in your bathing suit.
Yeah.
Impact teaching kids, especially kids who just didn't fit into that like norm is like curriculum of swimming.
Right.
Life skills and goals and like working on all of that. And then in my 30s, I knew I needed to like shift away from swimming. It was running, like we say, like the Taylor Swift song, I'm the problem, it's me.
Yeah.
I didn't need to be there like I was.
Right.
I was micromanaging. I'd had my first daughter, no mat leaves, just working, doing all the things. Then my second daughter. And Riley, who runs the swim school, was like, Lauren, like, just please, just like pay the bills,
I got it.
mentor. And so it was like this stillness that I was not comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I would have been 34-ish, 35 maybe. And I ended up ordering a bracelet. I have it on right here. This bracelet is what I ordered. It actually never came. It was an Etsy shop. And it's my kids' initials.
Okay.
And
so you're just at home.
I'm just at home. I'm like, oh, these are cool. These letter bead things.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? And I ordered it and never came. I'm like, oh, okay. I can actually make this.
Right.
So I buy the beads, make the bracelet, wearing it out. I'm also not the most maternal mommy group first type of person.
Same.
But I was out in the neighborhood walking with my youngest and like a mom was like, oh, where'd you get that bracelet?
Just a random.
Yeah. Actually, not totally random. Someone I knew from the
Sure.
neighborhood. And then she was like, these are my kids' names. Can you make me one and I'll pay you? I was like, you don't need to pay me. Made it for her.
Like I have these beads.
Yeah, I have these beads. You want sterling silver? I got you. Sidebar, always been obsessed with jewelry. Like that's been my thing in life. My Nana's jewelry. Every trip I went on, I'm like, I need to buy the pretty thing.
Right.
So I made her the bracelet with her kids' names. She tagged my personal social media. And then all these people are messaging, oh, can you make me what so-and-so has? I was like, oh, sure. So I'm like, better like get this in the books.
Yeah.
And Lowe and Co. was the name of a very small event company that my best friend Carolyn and I had when we were in our 20s. We would decorate your porch for the holidays.
Girl, you have been an entrepreneur
It's
from
From day one.
Day one?
Yeah. So I messaged Carolyn. I'm like, listen, Low and Co 1.0 is kind of on the back burner. I have this idea for Low and Co 2.0.
Yeah.
It doesn't include you.
Yeah.
She's like, thank God. She's like, you know what? Like, I can really get people ramped up to like follow along with what I need and want from them. So I just started an Instagram. And
You're like co-like company, not like Caroline. Get out of here.
Exactly. And then it really started organically with like telling your story, like what's your kids' names, what's your word, and those orders came in fast and furious.
And what year was that?
That would have been in 2020.
Oh, Christ.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So you're home.
It was, you're home and you're just going with it all.
And what made you, so I wouldn't think, I also love jewelry. I love to sparkle. I want to be seen from space.
Yes.
But I don't have in me, I wouldn't be like, I'm just going to make that bracelet myself. You know, like, was that always, are you like a crafty person, do you think? Or you're like, I'm scrappy? You know?
I'm scrappy.
Yeah.
I'm not crafty, but I also can figure out a way to turn anything into a business.
Yeah.
And that's like, I don't even love to call it like the hustle anymore, but like it is what it is. Like I am also, I think this is such a masculine piece. I'm a very good salesperson.
Yeah.
But it comes from what I can authentically talk about. Sure. And I never really connected the dots on that as a younger person. I never would have gone into like a sales class in school or like any sort of like thinking that I was a good salesperson, but it comes from just, there's a Lebanese phrase, shimahawa. It's being able to just shoot the shit,
right? Being
able to talk and connect. So I loved the idea that like these bracelets were telling stories. Yep. It was like creative. And the swim school life and my early life, I wouldn't have also said I was a creative person. It just all became untapped with the jewelry side of things. Yeah. And then it became like pulling on memories from my early life and a bracelet style being inspired by like something in my childhood. Right. People were resonating with it and loving it. And I've always been into like a diamond. Yeah. Love it. But for the light and the dark of it, like not just the beautiful, pretty thing, but like, what is the story behind this? And like jewelry, like going through old like grandparents' jewelry boxes and digging up stuff, having it remade. And so really just the beading and the bracelets of names and your kids' names, that's how it all started. Yeah. Then getting into the gemstone side of things. And that was the real creative outlet. Like, why am I so obsessed with like howlite? Because it calms and stills my nervous system because I'm spun up to space. And it just was really connective with people. Yeah.
I think people, yes, for sure, love jewelry. They love gems and all that stuff. And they love the piece that's a bit of them. But I think that they can genuinely feel that it's authentic with you. You know, like you're not pulling this out of your ass. This isn't like, I'm just doing this to sell this. You genuinely love this stuff. Yeah. You know, just you can tell in the way that you talk about it. Yeah. And I think that your sales thing, I used this actually on my other podcast and she didn't like it, Nicole. But I was like, you know, with the word I was thinking when you said hustle, it's not really hustle anymore. And I was like, I'm going to take grateful and I'm going to turn it into gritful. Yes. Because it's full of grit, right? It's not, it's like you have that in you to do it and make it happen.
Yeah. It's interesting. My best friend, Carolyn, who was the first like iteration.
She's co.
Yes. Her husband, extremely successful in sales, like high up every company. And one thing he said about me many years ago, he was like, you have so much grit. Like, you literally, there's no, I don't want to say there's nothing anyone can't do, but like, you just can find a way to make something work.
Totally.
And I think that was like in the beginning fear, like not having a paycheck from somebody else or not having benefits or financial stability. It's like you do it yourself and then you flex that muscle and confidence. And you're like, I can do this. Like, it's scary to start, but it's not scary once you know.
Like you need to figure this out on your own. Yeah. Like you can't, I think that's a big issue right now. It's like you'll jump, but there's always a safety net. So you don't take the big risk. Yeah. But you got to risk big. You got to try. And like, what would have been the worst thing that happened? You made some bracelets that didn't take off. Yeah. You sold some to your friends.
And also like the way I've always thought about my entrepreneurial life, I could always go get a job.
Yeah.
That's raised right? in a way that like we weren't given handout from my parents. Like they couldn't. but they gave us this like wild ability to believe in ourselves.
What a
And
gift.
if you look at my brother, like his jumps are like wildly high. And he has the same thing. He's like, if the bottom finds me, I'll figure out how to get myself back up.
Yeah,
And I feel the same too. And I always think like the future is watching. Our children are
yeah,
watching what we're doing.
totally.
They need to see examples of women
For sure.
creatively making a professional life that's successful.
Yes.
Like multiple six figures, not
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
everything is wonderful, but like making a living off of doing something
For
that
sure.
you're passionate and creative is such a beautiful gift, and people need to see that.
It is.
Our children need to see it because
Totally.
they don't need to be and working for a large capitalist
No,
type
no, but for
business.
real,
Yeah.
it's not if it's not in them. If they
Yes,
want
if
it,
it's not
sure.
exactly.
If you want to be a
Yes, yeah.
lawyer, go be a lawyer. Like if
Yes,
that's your
yeah.
drive. I said the same thing when I was writing my book. I was talking to my son and I was like, "Listen, I'm going to write this book and you may watch me fail, but you're
Yeah.
going to watch me do it either way." Like
Exactly.
I'm going to
Yes.
complete it and it may suck, but they have to see, right? They have to see the lessons. They have to see you
Yes.
do well, create your own business,
Yeah.
a crazy business they're seeing.
And seeing like fails or missteps
Yeah,
or lessons, that's the biggest thing. Like
that's part of it.
there's so many things that like if you follow us on Instagram, you're not going to see all that stuff. I'm very much, it doesn't need to be rose-colored glasses perfection, but I believe in the energetic exchange that you
Mhm.
need to put out the positive.
Yes, yes,
And
yes,
so many
for
people
sure.
choose to do it differently, but for me, that's just the way it is. But I talk about everything. Like if I'm in a like platform like this, like
Sure.
there's so many mistakes that
Oh my
we've
God, of
made.
course.
So many.
You
Like
have to.
and you're just going like, okay, well, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna flip this and I'm gonna change the story. There was a collaboration we did a couple years ago where we do these bracelets that are Morse coding. So
Yes. Okay.
two beads will be tapping out a word or a phrase, and we did a collaboration. I listened really optimistically to my collaborative partner who said, we're going to sell this amount. So of course I put into production
Right.
all of this amount, and we didn't sell that amount. We
Mhm.
sold maybe 10% of it.
Right.
But that bracelet got used in so many different
For
iterations
sure.
to recoup revenue, but also to pay it forward if I felt like it was a fit for something else. So it's just like there's never a failure.
No.
You figure out, and that's
recalibrate. You
recalibrate.
recalibrate.
You just
readjust,
shift
change the
yourself.
course.
Yes.
Totally.
And those flexible mindsets, I think, are key to the future,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay, so we make the
Yeah.
bracelets. We're on 2020. We're just
Yeah.
online, just on Instagram right now.
Yeah.
And this is all word of mouth, right?
All
People
word of
are,
mouth.
I have
And
this
like,
bracelet. It's so cute.
yeah.
Could you
And
do a birthday party?
yeah, not even that, just
Not yet.
bracelets. And then, so I had this vision of doing, it was like not coming out of the pandemic, but it was when things were starting to open up.
Yeah.
And there's this cute little store in Stouffville, which is close to like my hometown. And I was like, I want to do an event there, like a coming out party of like the brand, but also getting people together after the pandemic.
You like the social
I
aspect.
do love the social aspect.
Yeah.
I am an introvert, but I love the social side of it.
Right.
And we had this pop-up.
So you went in and were like,
When
can I do
I
this
was
thing?
like, listen, can I do this? I'll buy the champagne. I'll do
Yep.
I'll do whatever you want. And I had this little table
Mhm.
with all the bracelets that I'd made, and nothing was custom because it was like I didn't
Sure.
know what people were gonna want. But everything was like one of one or two of twos.
Mm.
And it was wildly successful
Oh.
because I think people wanted something to come to.
Yeah.
Women wanted to get out and away from their families that they'd been homeschooling and doing all the
For
pieces.
sure.
And I just remember there's something here. There's something to like an event with meaning. People were buying, it was prior to Christmas. It was in November. Christmas presents, giftable. And that's part of Loco's story, like intentional gifting. So then we started doing more pop-ups. And then through Instagram, other like stores would say, hey, can you come do something here?
And this was just you though at this point.
At this point, it was just me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have an amazing supplier Stone supplier. She's like my sage. And this was from the very beginning. And I would go in, I'd be like, okay, I need 500 more black onyx beads in 6mm. I need 300 clear quartz. And I'd go like every week.
And this was all new for you, right?
This
Like
is new. I don't know what.
this is not in
I'm
your
like, I'm
wheelhouse.
testing stretch cord. Like, this is not, and I will, yes, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
This is not,
Yeah.
even to this day, like, we're now looking at like wholesale shows, gifting shows, like on these large, like trade show levels. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Totally.
So I'd go in, can I have more of this? Curbside pickup. She's like, Lauren, who's making all this? I'm like, I am.
Yeah.
She's like, we can help you. I was like, no, it has to be made. It's handmade. She's like, Lauren, we have hands. So it then became, I resisted that for a while.
Right.
I was like, no, I'll call her S. I'm like, I got this. I'll just buy from you and make. And my dining room table was just beads, like the whole deal. Some days on DM, I would have like a $1,500 amount of orders coming in. DM. Like, you're just going like, what is this? Right.
Yeah.
Then I was approached by a PR company that was representing the Body Shop.
Oh my goodness. Just out of nowhere.
Out of somewhat nowhere. Nothing is out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's true.
It's friends of connections, of things, of pieces.
But you hadn't sourced
But I
this.
had not sourced. And that is something to my maybe detriment. I have never done, up until like this year, like advertising or marketing that I've put out to. It's all been organic in any of my businesses.
Right.
So I did a bracelet it was Just Breathe. It was a Morse code, Just Breathe.
Okay.
Clear quartz to clear the way, howlite to calm and still your nervous system. They'd seen it on my Instagram. They were hosting a retreat. It was in the States, and they wanted to order 32 Just Breathe bracelets from me. Like, not at wholesale, like full price.
Oh.
So I was like, listen, beautiful, amazing sage supplier S, I need help.
I need you to help.
Yeah. So from that day, which would have been about like 2021, is my gemstone situation all coming from this beautiful, amazing business in Concord, Ontario. But production started.
Right.
So we would just like make what we thought was going to be a great seller.
Right.
Or when I knew things were selling, I'd be like, okay, we need to do 50 units or 20 units or what have you. So that was part of my team and building, and like, you cannot grow alone.
No.
And that was really like the start of it getting bigger and bigger and creating more styles and being able to like speak to different like inspirational pieces of life, but have a beautiful piece of jewelry that represented that.
And you love gemstones already?
I love gemstones.
So you knew all about
Yeah, like, just it was an excuse to like buy the crystal Bible and like like Francis and I are Danielle and cousins. That side of our family is very
they love the woo-woo.
Energetically tapped in, so to speak, right?
I love a woo-woo.
And I love just people who don't know me are like, you're so grounded and calm. No, I'm not. My feet don't touch the ground. Like,
I'm drowning in crystals.
Exactly. I've got my bra is full of crystals. But I loved not only for the pretty part, but like what each thing means.
Right.
And as a kid, it would be like the loonies and toonies I would have had for like, I don't know, saving from tooth fairy money. If we were on a trip, I'd be like, I need to go to this rock store and buy these things.
Oh, man.
So all of the pieces of your life connect.
Totally. You can't see it until further down the path.
Until you're looking in the rearview mirror and you go, oh, this tracks.
That makes perfect sense.
So the crystal piece was, again, just another like energy side of it.
Yeah. But all of your pieces are made intentionally, right? Like, you've specifically chosen,
or the crystals have chosen me to like use in a certain way in order to create a beautiful story.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're just buying like, oh, here's a little whatever sparkly. There's
a reason behind it. And so being at these pop-ups and events, I could really talk and share those stories.
Yeah.
And it almost became like a bit of a like an entertainment for people. They come up and be like, okay, tell us about this one or that one. They'd be like, oh my gosh, look over here. Come, friend who's shopping over there. Like, come listen to this. So
people love to learn. I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but in general, people love to learn about stuff like that, about stuff that can ground them, stuff that can help. Everybody's looking for a little bit of help, right?
Exactly.
And if I can wear this bracelet, that's going to give me clarity for whatever, let's fucking do it.
This is bullshit.
I'm like, but then it's pretty.
But then they love it, so they buy it anyways. You
that
know?
one's just pretty for you then.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I
Yeah.
feel the same about like astrology.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe this moon, there was a full moon
Yeah.
yesterday. I'll set an intention.
Yeah.
It can't hurt.
Exactly. That's the thing. It can't hurt. Right?
So you're getting bigger.
Yeah.
Now you have production, you have like a staff, I guess.
Yes.
And we start to expand even more
Yeah.
into kind of corporate.
Corporate.
Is
So
where we go.
it's where this Body Shop Just Breathe first order
Yes.
took off. And there were many other orders like that.
That was just for one of their events?
They were in Sedona. They were taking a group of people to Sedona.
Yeah.
And this Just Breathe bracelet was on their yoga mat.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah. But the cool thing is, like, then you have like the content piece, which was all new to me.
Totally.
And like, so you see your brand, your Low and Co tagged in things, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is so cool. In the beginning, I was also so like, I didn't repost that because I was like, oh, I don't want to like brag that that's where I was. And so that was a real piece in me, and looking back and inside of like, why don't I want to be seen at some time?
Yeah.
And sorry, that was an aside, but just like,
no, it's not though, right? Because it's a big deal to kind of put yourself out there,
to put yourself out there and be creating something that is in this cool place.
Because then people might judge it, whatever, and you know, that's a whole different kind of energy. But if you're thinking about starting a business or any kind of an entrepreneurship,
two things. It does not matter what anyone else thinks.
It doesn't.
Second thing, you lead from within. You are your own company. Don't outsource that to people. And I know the world is full of all these amazing, like, supportive business products. Sit with stillness. You know where you need to go. And so those are two important things. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. The only thing is you.
For sure, especially in business. It needs to be authentic. It really, truly does. It has to be. It's not going to be successful. You can do sales, sure, for a while. You could sell a
There's no legs or longevity.
Yes, it's not. It's not going to stick around. It's not going to be something you're going to want to do.
Exactly. And I still feel so energized by this.
Yeah.
So then I was getting these other like kind of corporate partnerships.
Yeah.
Like, can you do a code that says this for like my team gifting? So there was that sort of like business to business side, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And the customs were still going quite strong. And then
you were doing
customs as well. So customs really built the business, but customs have been quietly closed for about 2 years.
That's a lot.
Because the custom is a beautiful thing. However, it is a massively inefficient cog in the wheel.
For sure.
So my way to do customs is to do it like on a larger scale with like collaborations. We did a collaboration with Muskoka Woods Camp and their exceptionality program. So we did a code that said exceptional, and it was wildly successful. It was custom, but on a larger scale.
You also have a make your own magic too.
Yes. Yeah, so that was my next piece that I was going to share. Again, this same PR company that had connected me with the Body Shop event, they were doing cabana party in Toronto. The brand was Pretty Little Things. Very like
the dresses
and like scantily.
Yeah.
All the things. And they're like, can you come and bring all the beads and we'll make something? I was like, yeah, I do that. I'm like, it's called a make your own magic.
And what was the impetus for that? What made you?
I was just like, in my own brain of brain dump, meditating in stillness on what I could do next with this.
Yeah.
I just kept having this thing called magic in motion. And I'm like, it's a bead bar and we're making things and it comes to you. And it's custom on a larger scale.
Right.
So that I remember I had the stickers printed.
For Pretty Little Thing?
No, for Low and Co make your own magic.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like I was like, it cost $200 or something to print the stickers. I was like, this is devastating. No one's even like purchased this product. And then this Pretty Little Thing event came up, and it was at the Cabana Beach Club downtown on a scorching hot summer day. And
you're like, I can save your life. I can teach you that.
Yes, that's exactly. And I went with all my lucite beads, and it was the hit of the event. So you would think that like the drinks and like the pool boy pictures and all that stuff, everybody was over in their string bikinis and high heels.
Oh, I hope you got content.
Barely, because I was there in my like very conservative. They sent me an outfit. I was like, no, I'll just wear this. It was like a Poochie style like caftan with my Gucci belt, which is something else that has always stuck with me, my working belt. And I was like, "Oh my God, people are coming in." They were like taping it all, influencers.
Yeah.
And I got out of that. And McIntyre Communications is the name of the company. And Ashley, the founder, is someone who I've known in life. And we had a debrief after, and she was like, "What you charged for this wasn't enough.
Right.
So this is what we're doing next."
Yeah.
And that was the launch of like the make your own magic in a larger scale.
So explain what make your own magic is.
Make your own
No,
magic
that's.
is we come to your event.
I think I want to do it for my birthday in January.
Gosh, so
Can we
fun.
totally do one?
Absolutely. We come to your event. Imagine like lucite containers, like a candy bar,
Okay.
but it's all beads.
Oh.
So depending on what your event is,
Yeah.
there's a Korean skincare company that launched into Canada, and we did their event last week. They're all blue and clear. So everything in this Make Your Own Magic was blues and clears. So the storytelling piece is there with what we're intentionally choosing to bring to the bead bar.
Right.
And your guests get to come to the bead bar, have the Low and Co magic makers, myself, Riley, Mallory. There's a whole crew of us now, and we do the tie up for your bracelet and a little bit of inspiration. But the whole point is you're making it yourself.
Right.
You're making it yourself because the mindfulness, even in a busy influencer driven nightclub to your beautiful own home party, making something means something.
It does.
It stills your mind and body, and it
Mhm.
brings you down into a grounded state, which is at the end of the day why these are so successful. It's not the pretty piece,
Mhm.
but it's that people are making something. They
Yeah.
feel, oh my gosh, I did this when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, I used to make things with my grandma. Like
Mhm.
there's these hits on all the little sensors in our brain that take us back to something that brought us joy.
Yeah, and they're very intentional about it too.
Intentional,
If I'm making something, I'm like, I want this to be perfect for me.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
do I feel in this moment? Maybe that's just me, but I
No, but
literally am
that
like,
is
what am I drawn to right now?
embodying just like what it is that you want it to be. And we've been so grateful to be in some pretty cool spaces and places to do these events.
I know it's been
like
so good lately.
like over the years, we've worked with Essie, we've worked with Mildred's Temple Bar, which is a beautiful brunch location in
The
Toronto.
pancakes.
During Taylor Swift's Era Tour, we were
Mhm.
set up there
Oh,
doing
what
an
a
event,
time.
which was amazing.
Perfect.
During that Taylor Swift tour, we were with Maybelline in Yorkville, set up with one of their gifting suites.
Crazy.
Like there's been so many things that you don't really sit as an entrepreneur to like look back at like what the resume
Yeah.
is.
But if you listed it, you're like, that is
Well,
impressive.
funnily enough, so we're in the middle of a rebrand in terms of the website.
Okay.
And I've had to sit with things.
Right.
And I was doing some work on an edit last night. An amazing marketing company, Pooja Root Creative, they're doing it. But I was like listing through. She's like, no, Lauren. She's like, I've seen more than what you've just listed.
Did you Google yourself?
And no.
Girl, sometimes, truly,
Yes.
sometimes Google yourself and be like media. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I did that interview. I did that.
Yes.
You don't even realize all the
Yeah.
stuff that you've done.
And just like listing it all and these brands, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
If you build it, they will come. And that's what the make your own magic was back in the day. It was printing this damn sticker.
Yeah.
Magic in motion, Lauren in her brain, meditating and writing everything down. That's my business 101. That's what works for me.
Yeah.
It's not my strategy of like sitting down, very masculine energy, making a business plan. It's like, what is taking my gut to places is how I work business wise. And then like foundationally build that with actual.
But I think that's such an important lesson for my audience is predominantly women.
Yeah.
But it's such an important lesson, I think, for women to hear that it doesn't have to be the way that a man, quote unquote, or the masculine or the traditional way business is built, right? Because that is a very strategic, black and white, this kind of way. But like you can create something with intention from your gut, being led by your intuition, and be wildly successful because that is the way that a feminine energy would do it. And I'm masculine energy too, 100%. Like I think you have masculine energy in you as well, right? Like that's how we lead. But in conjunction with the feminine there, the mind work.
The other piece of that is that like you do not need a plan. You need to start.
You got to start. Oh my God, you got to start.
whatever it is, because the other side of like being super business school 101 and planned, how do you even know that you have a market for what you want to do?
Sure.
Go out, start. And I've always done that, again, rightly or wrongly, created the community
Mhm.
that creates connection in order to create revenue. Then find the production, find the things, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, is
And
there a
that has
market for it?
worked for
For
what
sure.
I've done.
Also,
Yeah.
just like start and then again recalibrate.
Yes.
Start, and if that's not the route, be like, oh nope. Like I started, I was literally last night. I said that this morning on my Instagram. I was looking for a recipe that from my grandmother from a million years ago,
Yeah.
and it was in my email. And my very beginning of Stacey Green Living was like 2013. So
Yeah.
I'm like way back in my
Yeah.
emails, and I'm like, fuck. And I was looking at like this program that I started that was called like Control Alt Delete because it was after like the nutrition stuff.
Yes.
But it was like, I tried it. It worked for a little bit. It wasn't the thing. We move.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like we move, we shift, we go, we keep
Yeah.
going. But you got to try
Yes.
to know that if it's it or
If it's
not.
gonna work.
And sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
But
But
that's
a
okay.
little, but a little piece of what
Yes.
tried will always stick with you into what you're doing.
Totally.
And
Totally.
like the foundation of how you're going to move forward in your business. Like I pride myself, Lauren prides herself on like customer service. That's
Mhm.
always been a huge piece.
Mhm.
And like something that is connective. So
Yeah.
it was swimming lessons. It was like decorating the porch in the way that the people loved, like just the customer service and connectivity
Yeah.
piece are huge. And with Low and Co, it's been also the little luxury that people can purchase that isn't going to cost them a lot,
Yeah.
but be high quality.
It's, you know,
Yeah.
I am not a I feel like we've talked about this. I'm not a bracelet person all the time. Like I like a necklace and I like a ring.
Rings, yeah.
And I was like, you know, Lauren has these super cute bracelets. La, 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 la. I have started wearing so many more bracelets just because I think they're so beautiful and I love the intention behind them. But it wasn't like, it's not my go-to, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? If that makes
Yeah.
sense. But like, there is nothing better. There is nothing better than getting like a PR bag or a little gift something or a little surprise and it's a bracelet. Girl, I get so pumped. People are so excited
Well, that
when they get that thing. Like it's really, there's such a big market for
well,
it.
there
you
really
know?
is. And speaking of a big market, jewelry is a saturated market. Every market's a saturated market.
Totally.
It's just how are you authentically positioning your brand in
Yes.
order to not even stand out, but find your people.
Totally.
And so what's next for Low and Co is starting to do trade shows, one of a kind, things like that. Are bigger, but I've been talking with mentors and some peers in the space and they're like, but Lauren, like you look at you as a jewelry brand and like it's bright colored. I'm not into like minimalist.
Yeah.
Like it's very individual. And that's where like it gets through the noise. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And, like everything's coral and every like event that we've done on a larger scale, we did an event at Evergreen Brickworks 2 or 3 Novembers ago. Gabby Bernstein was speaking at it, Dr. Shivali, and we were a vendor. Well, I made my dad and my husband bring basically our living room down to the booth. Like I was like, again, me not knowing this industry, like I could have had a screen printed that had all the pictures on it, but no, my dad like,
oh my
like
God.
and behind me
To make it look like a
to
wall.
make it look like a wall. I put all the pictures on. I brought all the books. I brought a shelf. I brought my grandmother from Germany's Moroccan rug, a lamp, tub chairs. People are like, what? I'm like, but it's like that event was so connective, not only because it was just a really amazing sales day, but people remembered us.
For sure.
And
For sure.
we're like, you were the one that had the turquoise chairs. I'm like, yeah, I was the one.
Yeah. And that, saturated market, I think, is such a silly thing. It just means there's a market for it.
Yeah.
It's not saturated to the point where nobody else can fit. It's
There's
like,
always a point of entry.
there are always a point of entry. There are a million cookbooks.
Yeah.
I wrote another cookbook because there's only one like me. There are a million jewelry brands, but there's only one Low and Co.
Yeah.
that does specifically what you do.
Yeah.
For sure. People need
Yeah.
to know that as well. Like it's not impossible.
And that shouldn't be a reason to not just start.
Totally. 100%.
Yeah.
No one would ever write another romance novel.
I know.
Guys, I love a
Yeah.
romance novel.
Yeah.
I'm reading one right now.
What are you reading?
Do you like Allie Hazelwood?
I've never heard of her.
Oh my God,
but
girl.
look,
I'm going to text you immediately.
Okay.
So you last month had a very cool magazine. Was it last month?
It was in
the summer?
July.
Oh,
Yeah,
Christ.
that's okay. These months are flipping by. Yes.
Honestly. So how did that start?
Okay, so I was connected with an amazing woman named Michelle Kalman,
The
who
most amazing.
is the founder of a PR company called The Go-To. Super connective. And
But she just found you. She told me that she came to one of your things and loved what you had.
well, do you want to know what event it was?
I sure
the
do.
Evergreen Brickwork.
Oh.
And I'm such an early bird to an event that I was probably there at like 6:30 in the morning setting up. She came over.
Was she working it or just a
She
guest?
was there
Probably.
helping some portions of the event. She was helping. I had no idea who she was. She was just this lovely woman that came over. She's like, "This is fabulous. What is this?" Bought a bunch of stuff. No idea who she was.
Yep.
And then placed an order afterwards. And I looked at her email. I was like, okay, she's in PR. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So I sent her just thank you so much for this order. And we just stayed connected. And she just has been very instrumental in this next level of where Low & Co is being seen. So she does these beautiful events where you set up your booth. You're not selling, but you're sharing your story to the media, the media preview. So I did that event in April of this year. And I was like, again, this is all new to me. No idea what I'm doing. I got my pink lipstick on. I got my jewels. I got my jean jacket. And I'm just like going to talk about what Low & Co is.
Yep.
I was like a fish out of water in sense that I felt people were like super prepared because they'd been there before.
Right.
And I hadn't. But just my muscles of like diving into the deep end and knowing that like whatever, no matter what happens, I just got to hang out with cool people.
For sure.
But I didn't realize I was speaking to who I was speaking to.
Yeah.
So you're at this event and there's like a little cheat sheet of what editors are there and you're supposed to look at their sticker. But my thing is like, I speak to everybody.
Yeah.
Whoever's going to listen, come listen. And I didn't realize it, but the editor of Chatelaine, son, was there. I had my wrist and I believe that more is more. And I have 11 things on at all time. Nothing will match, but it all goes. My wrists were like fully stacked, like Mrs. T.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Can I take a picture of that?" I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "We have a magazine shoot. It's in a couple days. Could I get exactly what you have on here for the shoot?" And I was like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Okay."
And she's the editor?
She's the editor.
Oh my goodness.
And she was like, "It's for, I think it was a barbecue and rosé or salad. It was a food shoot." But she's like, the models holding plates of food. And so she was in my DMs the next day. "Hi there. It's going to be a really quick turnaround. Is there any way you can get all of what you exactly had on to..."
We'll drive it right now.
And
I will drive it to you.
Funnily enough, we were at an event the next day down at TD Tower. Mallory, who helps me and is like instrumental in a lot of my marketing, came with me.
I was like, Mallory now.
Yeah.
Are
you?
Yes.
Oh Mallory.
The best.
Oh, friggin' genius.
Speaking of.
So Mallory's with me at this TD event. I'm like, "Mallory, we got to get all these bracelets to St. Joseph's Communications. It's in like Uptown." So I literally is like, "You're going to take them in an Uber." This is how spun I was.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
Whatever.
So she's like, okay. So we get them all. She gets in an Uber from like Bay, goes up to like North York, drops them off. Son sends me a message, "Got them. Got the bracelets. Perfect." So then I'm just like, okay, this will happen as it happens. Last week of school in June, I know this because it was my daughter's birthday, June 23rd.
River's is 24th.
Yeah.
So close. My dad's is the 23rd.
Oh my goodness. There's a lot of good people that have birthdays that day. I get this like, I'm on Instagram and I'm just looking because I'm supposed to be having this birthday party for my daughter. It's calm. It's a day of rest. And then all of a sudden I see this like aqua blue visual Chatelaine holding a salad. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, those look like my bracelets.
You weren't sent a proof?
I did not know about the Chatelaine until
live?
And then I wrote
more.
I was like, oh my gosh, but do you want to know the coolest thing?
Yes.
It was exactly how I would style them.
Oh, that's
So I've been so fortunate where Low& Co's been in things that people have styled their way. And I'm all for that too.
sure.
But this was like, wow, it doesn't match, but it goes.
Yeah.
And so then this was the cover of it was a limited edition cover for if you're a subscriber,
Okay.
that's what you got on your magazine. Then it was in the inside as well.
But they credited you in the inside. They showed the bracelets in the inside.
Yeah.
And did you know any of
Okay,
this?
so I did not know any of this. So funnily enough, so this is Chatelaine. Michelle is crazy. Michelle Kalman writes me on the 23rd of June and she says, "Oh my gosh, your article is so beautiful. It's a feature." And I think she's talking about the damn Chatelaine cover.
Yeah.
She wasn't. She was talking about Canadian Living. We were also in that month's Canadian Living. On the inside, there's a like kind of like a what's new and now that we were featured in.
And you had no idea.
I have no idea. Both came out the same day. So I write Michelle, the shot is so beautiful. She's like, I didn't even know about the Chatelaine. So it was 2 days I was having like a bit of a mental breakdown because I was like, I'm new. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So like, how do I share this? What do I do?
Right.
So it's just learning along the way
Yeah.
and also like trusting the guidance of people who are geniuses in their space,
Right.
like Michelle, like Mallory, who
Right.
does the socials and marketing, like S, who does production and gemstones and all that. Like, just really trusting in that way. So then that created a wave. We always did get orders from all over Canada, but that was like,
Right.
there were things coming in. So it then became the Canada Day long weekend that both magazines hit the stands July, I think it was 2nd. I saw like an influx of orders of certain things.
Right. The up level.
Yeah. The mermaid strand was the one that was on the cover of Chatelaine. Very organic.
Mhm.
All the gemstones with a pearl, pinks and blues. That like sold out like 4 times
I
over.
love it.
Bracelet
Yeah.
was in Canadian Living, and that's opalite. We did opalite well before Taylor's song.
Guys, this is going to air after, but
Yes. Yeah.
I'm wearing her opalite on breakfast television this week.
Yeah, opalite, stone of the
So
seer,
pretty.
stone of like cheerleading yourself forward, a meditative stone.
You
just
know all the stones off by heart now.
But
That's what
like
it is.
a lot of them. It just so happens to be opal's the gemstone of October. I'm an October baby. Opalite
When's
is
your birthday?
the
Oh, so soon.
yeah, next week.
That's exciting.
But then like I just saw the ripple effect
Yeah.
from those magazines and just the visual. And I was like, oh my gosh, this
It is
so
a
cool.
beautiful shot.
Like
I don't know if I saw the Canadian Living one.
the Canadian Living one equally as
definitely
beautiful.
saw it.
And it was a write-up about the coat, like
Yeah, you
Low&
had
Co
no
codes and
idea.
glow. Yes.
Like nobody wrote to you and was like,
So then
"Hey."
the Canadian Living one we did, but Chatelaine, it was when I saw it on Instagram and then I reached back out and then they sent it to me. And like, it just also, I was a kid in a candy shop
Yeah,
going to the like shoppers and like seeing the magazine.
I would die.
I was like, I just was like, yeah.
I would have held it up and been like, "This is me,
Yeah,
guys. My
yeah.
face is not on it.
But it's like, it's me. It's better than my face. So that
Nothing's better than your face, Laura."
well,
Wow.
it just these stepping stones in different directions and more
Yeah.
visible directions has been really, really cool.
Do you have? Sorry to interrupt
You go.
I am very much of the mindset. Maybe you're not though. So I'd love to know your take. Right now, kind of in this season for me is very much the season of yes. Like yes, I'll try it. Yes, I'll do it, but with intention, right? Like if it doesn't fit, I'm obviously not going to
Yeah.
do it. Are you in that kind of season, or are we past that season?
I'm in
now?
a no.
You're in a
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
So
Tell me why.
I have been a yes for like the
Yes.
swim school, everything. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Beginning of Low & Co. Yes, yes, yes. People think I'm the nicest person. I'm not really the nicest person. I just will also, when I make a commitment, I will keep that commitment no matter
Totally,
what.
yeah.
But what I'm working with now, personally and professionally, is the no's are leading to the bigger, more aligned yeses.
Elaborate.
So when I now will say no to something that I know, K-N-O-W, is not where we're going,
Mhm.
a bigger opportunity fills that
You're
spot.
making space for
So like
align.
the mindset of the energy and almost like desperation is to say yes to something because it's going to be great sales and you're going to hit your whatever target you need. but it's not exactly, there's nothing beyond that. It's just the sales, just the revenue. So what I'm feeling is like when I'm saying no to these things that I used to say yes to, it's just shifting me into places where they're like more magnetic opportunities, not only revenue wise, but like for what I want to do impact wise with things.
That's exciting.
And getting to share more about like my entrepreneurial life, which has been happening a lot more lately
Yeah, and you've been doing
too.
some speaking, right?
Yeah, which is what I love. And it's a cool way to connect and share as well. But intentionally, yes, like I have to like sit with myself at times because I think when we're entrepreneurs and something comes into the inbox, you're like, oh my God, people want me.
For sure.
But just sitting with it, how does this actually feel?
For
What is
sure.
my gut actually saying? Some things are full body yeses.
Yeah.
And you have no idea why.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this is why. And some things in the past I would have said yes to because I done them before.
Right.
But actually,
It's not a
this
fit anymore.
fall, I have rescinded yeses, which has been a challenge for me, but a growth thing that I needed to do.
Yeah.
Because they weren't where I was going.
And where are we going?
Where are we going?
Let's do.
We're
I feel like I've had
going.
you. Oh, I've had you forever. What's
So
what is our plan? What is
So
Low and Go
where
5
I'm
years?
going is that just increasing the reach of the Make Your Own Magic channel of our business.
You love that part?
I love that part.
Yeah.
And it also is when there's things like a touch of a recession retail wise, that there's always the ability to create income when you're working with brands, when you're working with corporate.
Yeah.
Kind of has married like so that the retail side can be lifted up by that and vice versa. So larger scale, being able to be like, oh, you need something in Calgary for the Stampede? Here, I'm going to be able to ship you all this Low and Co stuff to set up the bead bar, hire someone. So it's not always me or our local team going to do it.
Right.
So larger scale, collaborative, make your own magics.
That's
where as having the retail side, also having the website, which is something I'm diving into in 2026. Speaking about working with geniuses, like
I hate websites. I hate doing my own website.
know.
It's just
and I do too.
For
And
me.
I've screwed up so many times and
So many.
finally hiring who I did this time, but like really using the data behind like ads and things like that.
Yeah.
Which was something I was very resistant to, but speaking to other people in the intentional retail space, like it's passively able to grab people without reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that also is what's on the book. So like working a little bit smarter rather than harder, taking time to sharpen the sword so that the reach doesn't seem as arduous.
And then it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of like, do you want to be in stores? Do you want to be in retail?
I would like to be in like aligned retail.
Right.
Not necessarily like but like places that do beautiful giftings. Like even I could see like hospital gift shops.
Ah, that's nice.
Where people come down, oh, Hope, we need that up on the 11th floor right now. Let me just, you know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah.
And that sort of space. But I haven't always put everything in that retail wholesale bucket. We are in a lot of really cool stores that is all organic.
Yeah.
But I will keep like to the foundation, like we are small batch. Like
you do sell out.
We sell out
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
And it's a good problem to have. And I'm someone who like an individual and how I style myself and how I dress. I don't want to see myself coming. I always have like said I'm not just the basic gal.
She's not a basic bitch, guys.
At the bus stop. So that's why like I don't want it to be that I'm increasing production on each single style, be like mass.
Right.
You know?
I'm keeping it true to
Bespoke.
Low Co.
You got it. Yeah.
Bespoke. I love
Bespoke.
it. Lauren, thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you for
Where
having
can everybody find you and your beautiful jewelry?
Okay, well, Instagram, low_and_company.
And the word or an ampersand?
And the word.
All right.
And then online what is it today? We're the 10th of October, I think.
Yep.
The new website, the website's still running, but the new launch is going to be at the end of October, which is www.lowandcodesigns.ca.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where the things are.
That's where the magic
Yeah,
is, and they
yeah.
can find you on
Find
Instagram and
yeah,
find all the things.
absolutely, yes,
Find your
yeah.
swim school.
Find my Riley runs a swim school now, even though I'm still very involved, but yeah.
That's exciting. I'm
Yeah,
so excited for you. I love to watch it. And you guys don't know Lauren personally, but you have been with me as a business so generous with your
aw.
knowledge and your resources. And it's been so lovely to,
Yeah, when the
be
tide rises,
lifted.
when we
A
all rise
100%.
together.
A rising tide lifts all boats.
Really.
100%. I agree.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for
yeah,
being here to talk about building a legacy business. No, wait, things I wish I knew about building a legacy.
legacy.
Now you know.
Yeah. Well, thank you,
Oh, my
I'm
pleasure.
honored to be here, so thank you.